Chairman, thank you very much, and a pleasant good morning to everyone. I've been asked to speak on this topic, and I have chosen the following order of presentation. We'll start by looking at the importance of agriculture to the Grenadian economy, and also look at agriculture and the national GDP, trends in imports and exports of agricultural product, which would be followed by a look at agricultural revolutions in Grenada, future challenges of agriculture, and the need for a business incentive package for Grenada. Now, at the FAO Regional Conference of Latin America and the Caribbean in Nicaragua 2020, it was mentioned that the COVID-19 pandemic caused significant disruptions in the agriculture and fishery supply and value chain in Grenada, thus revealing systemic weaknesses in the agriculture and food supply chain. Historically, as you know, the economic fortunes of Grenada have been linked to the performance of the agricultural sector, and in particular, the production and export of bananas, cocoa, and nutmeg. Grenada has also a large subsistence sector producing fruits, vegetables, and livestock for domestic and regional markets. Agriculture and fisheries are therefore significant contribution to the rural employment and poverty reduction. The share of value added by the agricultural, forestry, and fishing sector of the GDP in Grenada decreased to 4.32% in 2022, where it reached the lowest value in recent years. This table gives you a breakdown of how it ran from 2012 to 2022, right down to 4.32, based on this bar chart. Now, in regards to exports, agricultural exports accounted for 47% of total exports between 2010 and 2014, and are important for foreign exchange earnings and income generation for producers. Earnings from agricultural export also averaged 41% of the value of food imports between 2012 and 2014. What that means is that we were more or less importing about 2.5 times food than we were actually exporting. Now, export earnings have shown robust growth since 2007, increasing at an average of about 5.5% between 2007 and 2014. But this growth has not been fueled by increasing production, but rather by increase in export prices. Now, according to the ITC, imports of agricultural products constituted 6% of the total value of national imports in 2013. And over that years, some of the major imports were wheat and mesclun, maize, rice, vegetables, and soybeans. Majority of the cereals also came from the US, about 85%, while some of the edible vegetables were imported mainly from the Netherlands. This year gives you a breakdown of some of the imports. For want of time, I'll skip it, but as you can see, nutmeg, mace, and condiments came from the US, about 5.27 million, and we have cocoa, etc., from other areas. Major exports of agricultural products, according to the statistics provided by the International Trade Center, we had cocoa and nutmeg contributing about 42%, and between 2009 and 2013, the most important agricultural product exported by value was nutmeg and cocoa beans. The main importers of Grenada nutmeg were Germany, 48%, and the Netherlands, 32%, while France was the largest importer of cocoa beans. Okay, this is a table there. You can look at that. My time is running out. Briefly, the agricultural revolution. When I say revolution, what I mean is that new technologies that were implemented over the years that have shown significant change in agriculture. We started, first of all, non-traditional products coming into place instead of some of the traditional products, not make cocoa and banana, which were dying. Then we had increase in fish production. By the 1980s, when the government of Grenada, with assistance from the Cuban government, popularized surface longline fishing. And with that also, they had improvement of the boat technology to longline fishing, where they began using large fiberglass boats and so on. And there were a number of different tools that were actually used, such as the sprinklers and tractors, and brought into agriculture and made a big difference. Future challenges, what are they? Of course, climate change, I won't say much about that. It's a global problem, but there's little things we can do. Loss of agricultural land, the previous speaker mentioned that already. Need to embrace new technology. This is very important. I watched the thing there that the guy was talking about the greenhouse farming technology. This is so important. Greenhouse farming technology is rapidly evolving and has the potential to revolutionize the global food supply. Then there's hydroponics. The hydroponics is so important. One of these techniques, there are about 4 different techniques involving plants being grown in a grow tray that is slightly angled and positioned with a reservoir filled with water and nutrients, nutrient mix. Then a very important challenge is emerging pests and diseases such as the West Indian fruit fly, the mango seed weevil, red palm mites, and little yellowing in coconuts, avian influenza, citrus greening diseases. These are things that at CAFSA where I used to work, we're very, very serious, and we know what is coming and what we have had. In terms of business investment package, I don't want to say much about that, but it's necessary because the WTO, since then, tariffs and quotas have gone. So we have to put in place, we have systems for agriculture. These are some areas, the US, what they have, India, Trinidad, and so on, what some of the packages, incentives they have for the people. Okay? And in terms of other loans and so on, grants, these are some of the areas. You know them as well as I do, where you can get them. I thank you.